For 2 years in a row?
For 2 years in a row. I don't know for this year, because lots of good girls coming, like Nancy Zalowski. For women now, it's really getting bigger and bigger every year, and more women get involved in it. It started 15 years ago in a small show, in a bar game.
Bar game?
Yes, bar game, doing, at this time it was just a bow saw. Start the crosscut saw, and after that there was the chopping. The chopping for women was relatively new. I wasn't not really talented on that. I had to try hard and hard to get better. Only take 2 months off and practice almost all year long. Oh! And at this time, especially almost every day, chopping and sawing almost every day. I like the people. When we're doing our event, we are against other, but that we want to win. Everybody wants to win. I want to be first, for sure. Woo!
Well, Dani Boulanger certainly has worked really hard over the years to bring it to the world-class level that she's at, you know, amongst the female choppers and sawyers in the world of lumberjack sports. Judges and timers are all getting in position for the women's single buck event. In total, we had 7 competitors. We're featuring the top 3 heats. First heat, we have Denise Carlson versus Andrea Robarge. 16-inch round aspen is the wood. A little bit of a tough start there for Andrea. Starting these saws is sometimes really, really difficult. You know, you only got one person on the end of a 2-person saw. A little bit of a waver in Andrea's saw there is going to cost her a little bit of time and energy. Pretty smooth saw in there for Denise Carlson. Denise being coached by J.P. Mercier and Andrea being helped out by her husband Wally. Both competitors coming to the end there. Good smooth sawing by Denise all the way through. Denise Carlson wins the heat. How important is it to use the full saw in single buck?
Very important. You lose a lot of time when you don't use the whole thing. I try and have a long stroke as much as I can. I think I short stroked a couple strokes, but it's important.
Real nice saw in there by Denise Carlson, setting the time to beat at 31.53 seconds. She makes a really good point there, is using the whole saw is what it's all about. You don't want to waste any time and any energy in these lumberjack sports. Second heat, we have Marianne Karp versus Peg Angasser. A couple women from New York. Competitors are allowed to start their saws with a little bit of a circumference cut. Usually around 6 to 8 centimeters, a circumference cut, get their teeth set. Good start by both competitors. You see Peg Angasser take some nice short strokes at the beginning. Now she's into her long push and pull strokes. Getting good use of the saw. You can see the grit and determination in Peg Angasser's face. Look at that determination there. Marianne Karp doing really well also. Looks like Peg Angasser's ready to finish things off. That'll be 31.53. Peg Angasser wins the heat. Peg, that's a lot of work. Can you put it in words?
Yeah, it's not that hard. After you've done it for enough years, you know that you're going to get through it fine, so you kind of forget about that.
I heard Gary Hammond talking to you about what you could have done better.
Yeah, he said that I wasn't pushing the whole saw into the wood, so I was wasting maybe 6 inches of the saw.
Well, Peg Angasser says that's not that tough, but I know for a fact she's worked hard over the years to make it look easy, but it is a lot of hard work. She now has lowered the time to beat, which is now 28.68 seconds. World record time, 16.29, set by Penny Halverson, once again in White Pine. We're sawing aspen here this weekend. This is our last heat of the single buck in the women's division. Dani Boulanger versus Nancy Zalewski. Two of the best single buck women in the world. Really close and competitive. Dani's doing a little bit of short stroking. So is Nancy. She'll be pulling that saw a little bit further through. There, Dani's now using a little bit more of the blade. Nancy's putting a little bit of weight down at the end. It's going to be really, really close. It's going to be 28.68. They're both going to do it. Really too close to call on this one. Nancy, it's a pretty close race. They still haven't called it yet. What do you think of that?
Danny's a great competitor. I mean, she's beaten me many times in the past, and I just need to come out on top one of these times, so just keep working hard and keep chasing those top people.
What do you think of your cut?
Everything was going well. It started to be really, I was tying the wood in first, and as soon as he put the wedge, it was okay.
Well, that's world-class women's single bucking, certainly, with Nancy Zalewski beating her buddy Danny Boulanger at 12/100ths of a second to take the women's single buck. Some of the other events taking place include the axe throw, the Swede saw, the standing block chop, and the men's single buck. After 7 of 13 events, we have a world-class international field filling our leaderboard. Jerry Gingras and Brad Turner are tied for 4th with 8 points. Donald Lambert and J.P. Mercier are tied for 2nd with 10. And Dave Jewett from Pittsburgh, New York, is setting the pace with 15 points. A real gentleman and a world-class sawyer and axeman, Gilles Levesque, reflecting on the tougher times of the logging industry.
I remember one day, I have a very big wood day, and maybe I cut in the morning, maybe 4 cords. And the cousin of my father, he come to see me. He says, I passed here this morning. You have nothing done, and now it's around 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and you have 4 cord around ready to cord. He says, it's fantastic. I'm very glad for you. But he says, in my time, when I have your age, around your age, he says, I can do that. Quite the same than you. But today, I have 42, 43 years old. I'm tired. And I have 5 kids. I need more money. But I cannot cut more than two cord and a half by day. And he cried. And it's a good experience for me. Because my father told me a lot of time, and it was a very good guy. He was a very strong guy. He was a very good cutter. But at 45 years old, he cannot do what he can do at 20 years old. And that's why it gave me some good experience with that talking. I quit at 21 years old to bush. And I will be a sales rep for the chainsaw business for 35 years.
Gilles Levesque, an excellent man, an ambassador to the sport of lumberjacking, and certainly an inspiration to all the young lumberjackers coming up in the sport. Next up, we have the springboard chop. In total, we had 17 competitors. Once again, we're featuring the top 3 heats. Heat number 1, we got Brad Turner coming all the way from Australia. Spends a good part of his year in North America competing in lumberjack sports versus Matt Bush from New York. Matt Bush has a nice clean 4-hit notch there, cleans out a little bit with his hands to make sure he's got a good board set, good hole. And he's already jamming his second board in there. Matt Bush, an excellent springboard chopper. And he's wailing away up top at the 10-inch aspen he's got up there. Competitors telling me that the wood's a little bit firm here this weekend in Senneterre. Got a pretty solid board set, Matt Bush does, but can't quite get out the end of the board like he'd probably like to. Get his back foot out as far as possible. Brad Turner standing a little bit close to the log as well. Like to get out a little bit further. Once again, when you got a board set that's sagging a little bit, you come a little bit close. Matt Bush on his backside taking some slicers. Matt Bush wins the first heat. Matt, what are you discussing there?
Oh, just the board holes, how the chop went. I thought the wood was going to be a lot softer up there. It really surprised me when I opened it up, but I was happy with the 2 4-hit holes. This chip didn't want to come out. I had to pull it out with my fingers, but it turned out all right.
Turned out great. Matt Bush sets a time of 52:41. World record time of 44:23 set back in 1993 by Warwick Hallett in 10-inch round aspen. Our next heat, we have Jerry Gingras versus Mike Sullivan. Two good friends that do a lot of traveling together on the lumberjack circuit, both coming from the northeastern part of the United States. A little bit wide of a notch there for Jerry as he flicks out a piece with his hand. Mike Sullivan already up on his first board, working on his second notch. Jerry Gingras only been working on the springboard chop a couple of years now. Got a little bit of a rain happening here. You see the drops coming off the board as Mike Sullivan jams in board number 2. Jerry Gingras up on board number 1. Got to get some good footing. Rain's got to slow them down a little bit as things get a little bit slippery on there. A lot of the boards have got some sand or gravel glued onto them, or some of them have got some types of non-skid material attached to their boards. Jerry Gingras still trying to get his second board in there. Mike Sullivan way out in front in this heat, looking to beat a time of 52.41 set by Matt Bush in the first heat. You can see him pick up the pace a little bit, Mike Sullivan is. Jerry Gingras still working on his second board. Mike Sullivan makes his way over to the backside. Gonna put some slices in. Mike Sullivan wins the heat.
Started in a drizzle, ended in a pour. How does that affect it?
Well, just your grip. You know, I got the stone dust on the boards there, so the footing's not too bad, but you're just tense. You're just waiting, you know, you're worried about slipping, your hands slipping, maybe your feet, so you're just a bit rigid when you're cutting.
Yeah, that's really got to affect the time, certainly. And the concentration when you're worried about slipping and holding on to that axe is critical, certainly, to finish the event. This is our last heat of the springboard chop. Time to beat 52.41. Still held by Matt Bush. Last heat's going to feature Donald Lambert and Dave Jewett.
1, 2, 3, go!
Donald Lambert, after one hit, gets a little bit of a slab there at the bottom of his pole. Hopefully his board will set for him. And we'll slab that on the bottom. Nice first board set by Dave Jewett, a real quick one as well. Looked like 4 or 5 hits only. Got a nice good angle where he can get his back foot out and weight on the back foot. Dave Jewett fires his axe into the top block up there. Another nice board set. If it's a solid one, he'll be able to get way out there and put a lot of weight on the back foot. And it does look like a solid one. He's just wailing away on that 10-inch round aspen up top. Donald Lambert's got a good board set, but he's got a solid board set, but he's sagging a little bit, which of course makes him stand a little bit closer to the tree and can't quite put the force behind his axe blows. Big chunk flying out of Dave Jewett's piece. Got to be 52.41 seconds, set by Matt Bush. He makes his way over to the backside, puts a couple of uppercuts in. It's not going to take much. Donald Lambert a little bit behind, trying to play some catch-up. Dave Jewett puts some drivers in. Dave Jewett wins the heat.
Have confidence in your boards up there?
Yeah, I tell you what, all season I've had trouble making good pockets, and my boards have sloped down, and this is the best I've climbed all year.
Well, Dave Jewett had a great climb and a good chop, but not good enough to overtake Matt Bush, who wins the springboard chop in 52.41 seconds.
It's going to be loud, it's going to be fast. This is the open modified saw.
We've got some dirt bikes, we got some snowmobiles, and we got some stock chainsaws involved in the open modified saw. In total, we had 15 competitors. We're featuring the top 3 heats. First heat, we have Remy Gagnon versus Jerry Gingras.
1, 2, 3, go!
3 cuts of 16-inch aspen. Good start by both competitors. Remy has a little bit of a slowdown there. Jerry Gingras wins the first heat.
Warming up the saw. Tell me about why is that critical, warming up the saw and getting it hot?
Well, the weather we got today, Bill, it's, you know, rainy, damp, and the cold weather. You try to get as much heat into the pipe as you can right before you go. You don't want you want a cold crankcase, a hot pipe, makes maximum horsepower.
Well, Jerry had a little bit of a delay in getting things started there, and he was not very happy of having his pipe cool down before that heat started. At any extent, he clocks in at 5.53 seconds. World record is 4.73 seconds in 15-inch aspen. We've got 16-inch aspen here, and that record was set by Rick Halverson back in 1993. Our second heat's going to be Wally Robarge and Mike Sullivan. Once again, 5.53 is time to beat. Good start by both competitors. Mike Sullivan wins the heat. You got a good block at that time?
That was good. That was a good block, yeah. Made a good cut. That's about, can't cut it much faster than that.
What do you got for machine?
Oh, Rotex, 325 Rotex, snowmobile.
Well, those machines are heavy. You can see the arms and the upper body in some of these guys involved in this sport, and those machines are heavy to be able to control them. And 3 cuts, down, up, down. Mike Sullivan now with the time to beat at 5.46 seconds. This is certainly an event that is measured in the thousandths of a second. Our last heat is Matt Bush versus Paul Woodland.
1, 2, 1, go!
Both competitors look strong. No mistakes so far. Paul Woodland wins the heat. You got a pretty good feel of the competitors here, but you're only right in there.
Yeah, that felt pretty good to get better of Matt Bush.
Yeah. Anything that wrong? Was everything right there?
Everything went pretty well there. I was having a little trouble with my saw last year, and then Ed Hurd there in Minden worked on it all winter for me, and it's working really good.
Hey, I know Paul Woodland. He's going to be happy with that second place finish. Only 1/100th of a second behind first place finisher Mike Sullivan, who finished in 5.46.
It's been a great day today here in Senneterre, Quebec. We've had a lot of close finishes and a lot of world-class competitors.
In the men's double buck, the teams of Duperry and Lambert, Mercier and Jewett finished in a dead heat at 4.980 seconds. In the women's single buck, Nancy Zalewski edged out arch rival Danny Boulanger with a time of 22.66. Matt Bush was one of only 2 guys under a minute while winning the springboard chop in 52.41 seconds. With all 13 events complete, we find our top 4 competitors all hailing from the northeastern United States. Mike Sullivan at 13 points, Jerry Gingras finished with 15. Matt Bush placed second with 16 points, and our Ford Lumberjack of the day with a convincing win and a total of 27 points is Dave Jewett. What'd you do well in today?
Well, I did well in the sawing events. I'm a pretty consistent sawyer. I won the bow saw, won the Jack and Jill with my partner Cherie, and won the 2-man with my partner JP Mercier. And I took second in a couple chops and third in the axe throw, so that pulled me through. Sometimes a couple bad events can throw you right out of it.
Come back next week for some more exciting action right here on Lumberjacks Challenge.
Lumberjacks Challenge is brought to you in part by Carhartt. Rugged outdoor wear since 1889. Steel, manufacturer of the #1 chainsaw worldwide. Ford, built Ford tough. Fednor, opening doors, building futures.
So what are we going to do today?
Same thing as always.
Gotcha!